Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Casual Sports Podcast. As always, I'm Alec Manoa. That's Matt Morrison. We're back here, and Matt, sports, they're happening, man. We're getting down to it. We're a month till football starts. Rookies are reporting to training camp today for a couple NFL teams. It's going to continue to advance throughout the week. We got Home Run Derby going on tonight, MLB All-Star Game tomorrow. The NABF World Series Tournament going on in Scene Park here on Your Sports Network. You can catch that going on this weekend, Thursday through Sunday. I'm hopefully going to be on some calls for that. I am moving, however, so we'll see if I end up making the cut to be able to do that. So, Matt, without any further ado, let's get into some of this stuff going on. How about we start off number one, the new Cavs uniforms that came out just released earlier this morning. They've gotten rid of any detailing, no pinstriping. It's all gone. And they made practice uniforms basically as the main jerseys. I like the shiny letters that you see on the white jerseys here. I mean, they got that beautiful wine color. It is kind of that shiny metallic look to it. I do like it. I like the new V they put on it. However, you can't help but look at these jerseys and just kind of see a practice uniform out of it. Yeah. Where's the detailing that makes it an NBA jersey and not something that I've seen local high school teams around here with better jerseys than this?
Yeah. So, I mean, these are the jerseys they're going to be wearing like all the time now. I like the old ones, the Goodyear ones. I like those. So I don't know.
And now no more Goodyear. That partnership is over. Which, I mean, that happens. It was a, 4 or 5 year deal. It was fun while it lasted. Cliffs, which is a steel rolling manufacturer in downtown Cleveland. So another local company, which I do like, that they keep it local with the new logo and new sponsorships. I think the other thing I don't like about these jerseys, there's no consistency from jersey to jersey. You look at the white jerseys, which will be the home, which is our home jerseys here. Classy, they look good. I like the home uniform. But then you go to the away one, and what is it? It's just Cleveland written across the front. There's nothing, in my opinion, that's Cleveland about that middle uniform, that one in red. I mean, you look at that jersey, Matt, and I don't see it. I don't see how this fits in. I mean, it looks like they took the red jerseys that we just had, got rid of all the fun parts of it, and went, here's the same thing back.
That's basically what they did.
And then the black ones are just the exact same ones that we won the championship in, but with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah, they're tank tops now.
It's like, who did they pay to design these? Because in reality, they should probably be fired. This is not an NBA caliber jersey. And I know that, this is a lot to get, heated over. But it's the identity of a team that you're going to have for the next 4 years, and at least 4 years, normally how long this seems to be going. That's kind of how long we had. I guess we had those ones for a while that won the championships in, which I hated those jerseys. I loved the change when we brought Goodyear in as a partnership, and now we're bringing in Cliff, and this is what we get out of it. I don't know. I can't get behind this jersey, Matt.
I'm kind of with you, too. But I really don't care what we wear. As long as if we win, I don't care.
As long as we win, sure. My thing is, though, I love the white jersey. It's clean. I like that it's got a specialized logo in it. It's got the new logo that the Cavs came out with over the summer, but then you don't see it anywhere else. It's only on the home jersey, and it's like, one, I don't know what the middle jersey is, what that's supposed to be. It's just a red jersey with the name Cleveland on it. I could have designed that on Photoshop, Matt.
Yeah.
That's maybe these are the easiest designed jerseys I have ever seen. They're more basic than Penn State's football jerseys. Hey. They're more basic than Penn State's football jerseys. And those are blue with white lettering.
What's wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing. But a basketball uniform is supposed to be a little bit more fun.
Yeah. All right.
You just look at basketball uniforms, and they're fun. They're not baseball where they have to be, you have to have certain pinstriping here, and it's got to look this traditional way. Football's kind of like that. You have to keep a traditional style most of the time. You have to keep things looking similar. Basketball's kind of that one sport where you see all these new jerseys come out, and they're fun, they're colorful, and they got intricate designs, and they're just beautiful to look at. Sometimes they're pristine with the pinstriping. And then this is a hard L taken by the Cavs here to put these out when we've seen some phenomenal jerseys over the past couple years.
Yeah. I like those white ones. I might get one of the white.
I like the white, but at the same time, where's any of the detailing?
Yeah, I don't know. They should have brought back the ones from the 2000s. Like they should put that in there, like with the checkered on the sides at least. That would have been with the white would have been sweet.
Are you talking about the old blue ones?
Yeah. At least with that, like that pattern that went up on the sides and around.
Oh, great. That want to work, is it?
What?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm trying to make something work.
I mean, it's just like that movie Dodgeball. I mean, you see them coming out, they have the wrong uniforms. We don't really describe, but like, they got the wrong. You've seen that movie, right? Yeah. Where they come out the wrong.
They're in like leather and chains.
Yeah, and they win. Doesn't matter. Then the real like biker gang comes and they're wearing their uniforms.
Here we go.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, this is if you put that taping on the side of these jerseys, I mean, mix up the colors a little bit, make it fit a little better. But I think that would look nice to put on one of these
on the white,
right? Even if you mixed it into all of them somehow, some sort of. When you look at this, it's so clean looking. It's basic, sure, because it's just Cleveland across the chest. But then you add all of this extra striping and piping around, and you put the little logo down there in the shorts.
Like you have the big C, like taking over the whole, like there's the C, and then there's Cleveland, like right underneath. The red one just says Cleveland. Like it looks like a prison jersey or something,
Well, here's the development. This is what 20 years of jersey development has gotten us from here to here. Now, to anybody else, does that look like a downgrade? Because that looks like a downgrade to me. That doesn't look like, this is what should have just come out, and that should have been 20 years ago. That's my opinion, at least. We'd love to hear some of your guys' comments on what you guys think of the jerseys. Personally, I'm not a fan.
How about this one? Do you remember the black and blue jersey from the 90s? That was actually created by a blind guy, I believe. And that had more design to it than this. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was. Let's look.
I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know, Matt.
I'm looking.
You're normally the sports history guy when it comes to this, so.
Actually, one of our teachers told me that because they saw me wearing it. And it was actually Professor Paul Ditchy at Youngstown State University. He's like, that jersey was created by a blind guy? I'm like, what? So, let's look.
Getting real casual on today's show. There's some going on in sports, but it's like we're in an awkward time period because it's like there's a month till
Summer
football
League
starts. Huh?
Didn't the Blazers win the Summer League?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't check into what happened with Summer League. I mean, it was only a couple-day thing, so. Yeah, Blazers won the 2K23 Summer League title. Not bad.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
glad
know.
they
Don't-
can win one thing because we know they don't have a superstar that can get down and dirty when he needs to and win in the actual NBA. So take your consolation summer league.
I'm looking. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. That's what he said.
Don't quote you on that. Quote him on that.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, going outside of the NBA here, I do want to kind of go into Major League Baseball a little bit. First things first, obviously, we're going home run derby, talking about this for a little bit to start it off. Our field's going to be Kyle Schwarber, Pete Alonso, Corey Seager, Juan Soto, Jose Ramirez, Julio Rodriguez, Ronald Acuna Jr., and Albert Pujols.
Oof.
This
The
is
machine.
a field, by the way. I'm just putting this straight forward. Awesome
This
field.
is the best. This is probably one of the best fields ever. With Jose and Acuna Jr. in there, then you throw in the machine with Pujols in there. I love that, and I like the new dude with Seattle, Rodriguez, J-Rod they call him. That dude is like he's awesome to watch. This is gonna be a sweet home run derby. I can't wait.
Yeah, I
I
can.
hope Jose wins.
Break this down round by round here. So our first round matchup, let's talk about first. Kyle Schwarber versus Albert Pujols. What a way to potentially start this. I don't know if this will be the first one out the gate, but I think it might be because he's the 1 seed, so he should get the start here, then perhaps finish the second. But Kyle Schwarber versus Pujols. Man, who's taking this? My only thing, when you look at this one and you go, oh, who's going to win round one? The only thing that gets on me is Pujols is a little older. To have him continue just to belt out home run after home run, I think it catches up to him faster than it does any of the other guys. Even if Pujols wins round one, I don't think he's got the stamina anymore to keep up and take a round two.
We'll see. He's still got those arms. All he's got to do is swing his arms. I mean, I know it's like 100.
You say all you got to do is swing those arms, but you're launching a ball 400 plus feet.
Yeah,
that's a lot of energy getting pushed out to be able to do that. So I want to keep it a little cautious with his hitting abilities. He's a great hitter, but I think you've got to be careful to not take him too far in this.
And I first of all, I like how this whole All-Star thing is in Dodger Stadium too. I think that even sets the stage even more for this home run derby too. So we should see. I mean, Pujols, what is he seeded? He's like an 8 seed.
He's an 8 seed coming to this.
Okay.
Trying to pull up his stats for the season.
Posey's a 5 seed. Oh man, he's got to go up against.
Here's the thing: when you're talking about Albert Pujols, he only has 6 home runs on the entire season. Yeah, he's not in the top 50.
They just put him in there as
the NL.
He's retiring.
Right. It's that final send-off.
This is his last hurrah. He's back with his team that drafted him, and he won 2 World Series with. This is like a last goodbye type thing. So like, yeah, we'll put him in here. We'll put him in the home run derby. I don't think he was an all-star.
I don't think so. But Matt, this round one, Kyle Schwarber, right now the home run leader in the National League, and
Schwarber
second in all of baseball right now behind Aaron Judge. And Judge not participating. So Schwarber, highest home run hitter we have in it. Now you got to be careful to take the odds-on favorite when you look at a guy like Schwarber. He can hit a lot, but the 2 seed in all of this is Pete Alonso, who we've seen absolutely crush it. He's got to be my favorite to come out of it. But round one, Matt, I got Schwarber going over Pujols.
I got Schwarber going over Pujols too, and Pete Alonso's won it. He won it last year, I think.
Yeah.
Let's look. I'm looking at the previous
matchup number 2 here: Juan Soto versus our guy Jose Ramirez. Woo! Matt, obviously, I think we're going to both kind of roll on the same side. We want Jose to win this thing. 19 home runs so far on the season for him. He can absolutely crush the ball.
Other day, he hit one and he hit 2 in 2 consecutive innings. Like he was going off. I think they beat him. They won. I don't know. I saw 10-0. They won 10-0 over Detroit. So
it's also Detroit. But Matt, Juan Soto's got one more home run than him on the season. My only thing when you look at these 2 guys, they're both good hitters. They're not always consistent power guys, though. They're really good at hitting home run balls. But I think when you put them both in a game like in a matchup like this, where it's just a home run derby, go launch at yard, I don't think this is either one of those guys' strong points. So when you do look past the first round, whoever is going to be taking on Schwarber in round 2, as much as I want Jose to take the whole thing, I think you do got to realize the likelihood of either Soto or Ramirez getting past Schwarber in round 2, very minimal.
I don't know.
I don't see a way either one of these guys get to the championship. They're both really good hitters, but they're not consistent power guys.
You know, bro, home run pitch.
Okay.
They'll interview him. Jose, they'll interview him like if he wins. They'll interview him. Jose, you know what pitch that was he threw to you? You know, like, did you change it up? You know, or did you throw sliders in? No, just home run pitching. That's all he'll say. That's all he'll say.
Well, okay, third matchup here in the first round. I love this one. As you mentioned earlier, J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez out of Seattle, taking on Corey Seager from the Rangers. You know, Matt, I've been all about this Rangers team this season. I think this would be a good thing to happen. They're not having the best of seasons now. Seattle's really taken over, and Texas has kind of fallen down, still ahead of Anaheim, but slowing down a little bit. To have Corey Seager right now, who's 6th in baseball with 22, or 6th in the American League with 22 home runs, to come out here and represent. I think it's a big thing for him and a big thing for this team to potentially not necessarily give them a jump into the second half of the season, but I think you could give confidence to a really big hitter if Seager does well in this contest and have the chance to potentially push them, at least in the hitting department. So I don't think it'll translate to wins for Texas, but if you see him do well, I think it could translate over, and I think it's something that they could potentially really need out of this.
Yeah, I believe that. And, you know, more on like Pete Alonso, I mean, he won the past 2 years, pretty much. I mean, they didn't have it in 2020, but he's 2-time champ right now, so he's a champion until somebody comes up and beats him. But right. I really like Julio Rodriguez, and I like Corey Seager too. I think getting out of LA, like getting out of the big light. I mean, Texas is pretty big too, but I mean, I think he got out of his comfort zone a little bit, and I think he's coming around. So we'd like to see it. I know you've been high on this Rangers team, so
yeah, I like the direction they're going, and I hope they can eventually push things in the right direction. I mean, they're in the bottom half of the American League, probably getting pushed out of position 22 games back now from first. Still just 7.5, though, back from the wild card, so still in a competitive spot. But in the home run derby, Matt, you know I'm taking Corey Seager over J-Rod in this competition. Seager's got more home runs on the season. He's got experience. He's been on stages like this before. And at the end of the day, it's about having fun, and we know Corey Seager can do that. J-Rod, I'm sure, is going to be hitting some nice balls, but Corey Seager, at the end of the day, he's that power guy you want.
Yeah, I'm going to go Corey Seager, too.
Final matchup here. This one, piece of cake to me. Maybe easier than Schwarber Pujols. Alonso versus Acuna Jr. Matt, it's Alonso. As you just mentioned, he's won the last 2. He's taking this one.
I love Ronald Acuna Jr., though. That's one of my dudes, man. But, I mean, I'm going to be cheering for him. But on paper,
but at the end of the day, Matt, he's not a power hitter. He's had
and he has
one season where he's been in the top. When he's been in the top 10 of home runs, and that was his second season when he had 41 home runs. Since then, the 2020 season, he had just 14. 2021, a little better, had 24. So far in this year, he's only had 8. So when you look at him this season, he doesn't look like a guy that should be in a home run derby. Our 7 and 8 seeds this year, very weak. Not sure really why he made the cut. They had to find somebody. I guess he said yes. He was already in LA for the All-Star game. So, you know, but I got Pete Alonso taking this one.
Yeah, I'm going to be rooting for Ronald, though.
All right, so that'll set up round 2 with a Schwarber versus Jose Ramirez. Matt, I already kind of gave my launch on this. I don't think either one of these guys, or either Juan Soto or Jose, was going to be a strong enough hitter to get over a guy like Schwarber who can just crush the baseball. I got Schwarber taking this from the Phillies, Matt. He's just too good. 29 home runs right now, in Major League Baseball, which is second in the entire league behind Aaron Judge, who isn't competing in the home run derby after he's done that in prior years while leading baseball and then didn't hit a home run for the next month. He decided not to do it this year. Probably a good option for him as well.
Probably. Well, I'm going Jose all the way. I don't really care. That's my dude. I want Jose Ramirez versus Ronald Acuna Jr. That'd be sick, though.
Yeah, because the champion's going to have 12 home runs.
Yeah.
That would be the worst finish. The best finish is going to be might be the way I go in Schwarber versus Alonso. I do like Corey Seager as well to potentially slide into there. But Matt, I got Schwarber coming out of top half of the bracket championship game. He's that guy when it comes to this type power hitting that I think you want to put in a competition.
Yeah.
Okay, bottom half.
He's had a bounce back year too.
Yeah, Corey Seager, Pete Alonso. This is a championship matchup right here between these two guys. Power hitters all the way. I know you got Pete Alonso. I really wanted to take Seager, Matt, but I got to go with the back-to-back defending champion as well in Pete Alonso. As you said, home run derby runs through New York until it don't. So Alonso's got this thing locking it down. I want to see him defend that title one more time, and we'll see if Schwarber can upset him. So that brings it down, Matt. Schwarber versus Alonso. Personally, I got the champion going yard again, baby. Yeah. I got Pete Alonso taking this. He's just been so good in home run derbies. He's not the same pitcher he had last year where he absolutely crushed the field.
Yeah,
Pete Alonso last year, he got that higher seed. He didn't have to go out there and set the mark. He just had to go match it and +1 it, and he did that every time last year. He was so phenomenal to watch in this derby. It's hard to say it won't happen again.
Yeah. He's good.
All right. Well, let's keep it in baseball, though. We've been going a lot of football here recently. I say let's keep it in baseball. This is all what we always call the midway point of the season. We hit the All-Star break. This is your first mark. Let's take a stop. Let's check it in. Let's hand out some mid-season awards, Matt. Let's go into that because I think this is a fun time to potentially do it and then see if these change or maybe they don't by the end of the year. First one, which I think is an interesting one to talk about, Manager of the Year, because I got two for the American League, and I'm kind of torn on it. One of them, he's probably the biggest lock right now for the the actual one at the postseason. Aaron Boone, the manager for the New York Yankees. You look at his baseball team right now, 64 wins. They've been ahead of the field the entire season. They lead, in pretty much every statistical category. They're 43-23 against teams over 500. They only have lost 12 times at home, only 16 times on the road. They have allowed the least runs scored in the American League with the most runs scored in all of baseball this season. And they're also now just one of two 60-win teams because the Dodgers won their last game out, and that broke them into being the only other 60-win team. Aaron Boone, for me, seems like that guaranteed lock. I know everyone wants to go, oh, well, yeah, he's got a great team to do it. Yes, but this Yankees group has had great teams, and they haven't been this dominant. To have this dominant of a season, I think you got to give some credit into Aaron Boone for finally getting everything to click together, because we've seen this roster pretty much the exact same the last couple of years, not do much. This year's really done a turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Boone is a great candidate. I really like I can't think of his name. Let me go look at the teams.
What team are you thinking?
I always like how Terry Friend kind of works, but I mean, you can't really give him that every year. I mean, that really shows a bias. Kevin Cash always does a good job. Hopefully he can turn his team around right now. Kevin Cash with the Tampa Bay Rays. My Wi-Fi's going up.
Okay, well, you want to hear my second place guy that I really want to give it to? Scott Survey from Seattle. Look at this team.
That's a
51-42, fourth place in the American League, and this is a team that I believe has the longest postseason drought in sports in Seattle. They haven't been to the postseason, I think, in 20 years. I mean, they were close last year. They were just 2 games out of a wild card spot, had a winning percentage of .556. And then you look at where they are now, winning percentage below that, .548, but they're fourth place in the American League. And they're on a 14-game win streak, and that might be a little bit of recency bias because that win streak has absolutely catapulted them up the standings. But I think Scott Survey right now has a really great thing going with this Seattle Mariners team.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick. How about Brandon Hyde with the Orioles?
Oh, Matt, here it is. It has been 45 seasons since Seattle has won a World Series championship, but
when's the last
they
time
also haven't been in the playoffs since 2001.
2001.
So 21 years. That's why I think you got to give some love right now to Scott Survey. He's got this team once again just in the hunt. And I mean, you look at things, they have a wild card spot in their hands right now. All they got to do is hold on. They have fought their way. They got that big win streak and put themselves in a wild card spot at the midway point of the season. Now, a lot can change from here on out, but midway through, they've got this spot.
Yeah. I like how he's been. Yeah, I like how he's been doing that. You know, Seattle, they've been overdue. So we'll just have to see. We talked about Rodriguez there. I really like how Robbie Ray has been doing with the Mariners. So and Carlos Santana was actually traded from Kansas City over there, and he's been doing pretty good too. I think he hit a huge 2-run shot in the first or second game with the team. So hopefully they can keep that up. But I like Brandon Hyde, the guy from the Orioles. He's bringing his team back too. They were I think they're 2-3 games out of a wild card spot right now.
They're 3.5 games out right now, but maybe more importantly, they're a 500 baseball team.
Yeah.
They're a long way out of last place where Oakland currently has that thing locked down and last.
Yeah.
Although I think Kansas City might give them a run for their money.
Yeah, they might.
I really do. Kansas City has a terrible bullpen. It's just Oakland has an even worse lineup.
They have an all-star, and Benintendi made it as an all-star. They have good outfielders and infielders. I like Whit Merrifield. I like Andrew Benintendi. I think Salvador Perez is still one of the better catchers in the league, even though he's getting a little older. They don't have pitching now. They don't. Bobby Witt Jr. is supposed to be something too.
Matt Benintendi, local Ohio product out of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
Gotta throw that out there. Gotta throw that Ohio.
Long time.
But Matt, over into the NL for Manager of the Year here. I think this is one that it's a little bit harder to find that Manager of the Year there because the easy pick is going with the Dodgers here and taking their manager and Dave Roberts. To me, that feels easy because this is a super team. They've been at the top. This isn't really any different from what we expected. It's exactly where they should be in first place at the NL. I think I got to go to a team that has finally made it over that kind of quarter of the way hump with the New York Mets and go Buck Showalter. Because you see where this team is, second place in the National League. We have been waiting for the last month and a half, 2 months really, for the Mets collapse, and it hasn't happened yet. And I think that's the big thing. Because remember, we're talking at that first month, the 2 New York teams and the 2 LA teams were sitting on top of the hill in baseball. And the first team we expected to fall off was the Mets. No, it was Anaheim. They fell off in a huge way. They dropped down their tanking. And now you look at these other 3 teams, and they're still all hanging out. And you look at the Mets, they're 2 games behind the Dodgers. They shouldn't be there. You got the Dodgers, who are obviously in first place exactly where they should be, and the Yankees exactly where they should be as well. Though the one group that continues to stand out above all else in the National League is the New York Mets. They have been the irregularity this season. You look down the line, Dodgers first, yeah, that makes sense. Mets in second, hold on. Let's calm down on that. But Atlanta's in third. Okay, they won the World Series last year. That's exactly where they should be. San Diego's in fourth. They got a good team. Milwaukee's in fifth. I'm glad to see they're bouncing back after a couple down years, but they're finally putting something together. Hopefully they can all stay healthy, and maybe we can see another second half out of Christian Yelich. Philadelphia is where they should be. St. Louis is doing just fine. San Francisco, they fell off a little bit. They're staying in the mix, and those are your only teams above 500 in the National League. I think when you take that group above 500, the one that stands out to me the most is Buck Showalter's New York Mets, because they're the irregularity this season in the National League. And I don't think we really had a major irregularity last year. I mean, this is a Mets team, that was 475 last year, 13 games back from a wild card, 30 games out of first place. So they were a bad team last year. They had losing records on the road and against teams under 500. They couldn't buy wins last year. And to see this big of a turnaround, I know they revamped up the roster, but this is a much better Mets team than we've seen in years past. And I think part of that has to go back on the Showalter and the way he's getting the bullpen organized and getting those guys just lock it down, because we saw a couple times last year, even with this really nice bullpen, there was a lot of big letdowns. They haven't really had those major letdowns this season. And to me, that goes back to your manager and what your manager can do for the team. And that's a big thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Buck Showalter has done a great job. He took that Baltimore team to a couple playoffs too when he was with Baltimore, so he knows what he's doing. I like him. I like what Brian Snitker's been doing too with Atlanta. So I have to keep that. You know who I really like to see come out and get it? Don Mattingly with the Miami Marlins. The dude is like a legend with the Yankees. Like, I'd love to have him come out and manage a team to a playoff or a manager of the year or something like that. So that'd be cool to see that too. But I mean, they're not a horrible team.
No.
So.
Well, this brings us into the next award, Matt. Maybe the biggest one in baseball. The MVP. First off, AL MVP. What's that?
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez is a good one to put out there.
Yeah.
But I think when you go most valuable player, I'm going to go most valuable. And if this team didn't have this guy, they would be, in my opinion, and even worse off than they already are. And it's Shohei Ohtani. You see, I think it was in the month of June, when he pitched, they were undefeated. And they were 0-13 when he didn't. Without him, you're looking at a month where they may have not won a game, more than one. When you talk about valuability at this halfway point of the season, Shohei Ohtani.
Could he win MVP and Cy Young?
Yes, he could. I don't think he will. I don't think he has the numbers for that necessarily. But yes, he could. And I think you have a good shot for him if he continues to pitch well. If he continues to stay with a good record pitching. That's the biggest thing. You have to have that record while pitching to kind of get those numbers. And he's sixth in baseball with wins. He's 9-4 so far in the season, has an ERA of 2.38 and a whip of 0.99, which is a good spot to be in. That 0.99 is, now my internet's slowing down, in the top 5, I believe, in all baseball this season in that whip. So he's in a good spot with his numbers currently to potentially at least be in that conversation. Whether or not he actually gets there is a different one, considering he doesn't have the most innings pitched, even though he's gotten a lot of wins so far on the campaign. He does have some of those numbers going against him just because he doesn't have as many innings pitched. I mean, you look at the guys above him, and Garrett Cole, Dylan Cease, Jamison Talon, they're all over 100 innings pitched, and he's down at 87. So he's one of those guys that you look at, and you probably can't give him the Cy Young just because he hasn't pitched enough, but he's still a phenomenal talent out there. And despite the fact that he has 13.1 innings less pitched than Jamison Talon, who's tied for second in wins in Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani has 41 more strikeouts so far in the season, with 13 less innings than the guy who sits in second place. Now, that's cherry-picking stats, but if you also look at Shohei Ohtani's 123 strikeouts right now on the season, he's fifth in all of in all of the American League. So Shohei Ohtani is definitely in the conversation. If he continues to pitch the way he does and the Angels can give him some more time on the mound, then he's definitely going to find himself in that conversation. But I think Shohei Ohtani is a legitimate competitor for this MVP race this year, because when you talk about valuability, without Shohei, this Angels team is fighting with Oakland for last place. They should be in a better spot than they are now. That's probably the one thing holding Ohtani back from winning this title this year in the MVP race. And because of that fact, I do think you have to give this over to Aaron Judge of the Yankees, because when you talk about that valuability, well, when Aaron Judge has kind of had down seasons, so do the Yankees. This year, he's going absolutely off. He leads baseball in hitting. He's looking like he might end up as a hitting champ as well. We'll see which way that goes. And he's propelled his team to a phenomenal record. They have over 50 runs more than anyone else in baseball, or 35 runs more than anyone else in baseball. Sorry, I was estimating there, and I jumped to it a little quickly. But still, his performance for the Yankees this year has been nothing short of spectacular. I got to give Aaron Judge my vote right now in the American League. And I know I'm pushing the Yankees right now to the AL, but I think in reality, when you look at the end of the season, the way things are playing out, if the Yankees continue to dominate, their showroom is going to be really full this offseason with those postseason awards.
Yeah. For me, I mean, Jose Ramirez is definitely a name to throw in there. I mean, you look at him the same way you look at Shohei Ohtani. Without him, I don't know how far they would be right now. But I gotta go there. I like Rafael Devers too with the Red Sox. He's all-star third baseman right now. I mean, he's been there since 2017. He's only 25 years old. All right. But I like what he's been doing. Another name to throw in there, I mean, Aaron Judge is clearly one of the front runners right now. But what about Jordan Alvarez from Houston?
Yeah, that's a good one to put in there. And, we're going to get down to the Hank Aaron Awards later. You're going to hear some of these names come back around. But, Matt, jumping over into the National League here, my guy, it's Paul Goldschmidt. This dude is absolutely killing it for St. Louis right now. And when you talk about valuability, which this award is called, he's got his team in the wild card hunt. His hitting has been spectacular. He's one of just two guys in all of baseball with an on-base plus slugging of over 1,000. So this guy, very clearly the number one guy in the National League.
I like Paul Goldschmidt, man. He's been around, too. Like, how long has he been in here?
Goldschmidt, ooh.
He's been playing for a while.
Yes, he is 34 years old. And when did he start here? Come on, load. Pages are not loading for us today, Matt. 2011 was his first year.
Oh, man.
So this is his 12th season in the Major League Baseball.
With Arizona?
Yeah, he spent with Arizona until he got moved to St. Louis in 2019.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you're looking at a multiple-time MVP candidate who's been in a ton of all-star games. This is a really phenomenal hitter all around, and I think he's got his name right back in the mix again.
You can throw in Nolan Arenado, his teammate, in there, too. He's had he's had a great year so far, too. I think he's batting, where is it, like 293, something like that. But another name, I mean, Freddie's in there, too.
Yeah, 293.
Yeah, Freddie's in there, too, and so is Manny Machado. But how about Austin Riley?
That's where I was going to go next. I mean, that on-base plus slugging one is great. His on-base percentage, I think, is one of those numbers you got to look at, because his batting average is only sitting at 285, but he's got an on-base percentage of 348, which is a spectacular mark to have there. And, Matt, you got to point out the defensive side when you talk about an MVP candidate as well. It's not just hitting. That comes with
he's made some, I mean, a handful of hell of a catches, like unbelievable. He's been on the ESPN top 10 so many times, I think. So I like that. I like how he's taken a little bit of a leadership type of role. I mean, since Freeman's been gone, that'd be cool. He's kind of like a dark horse a little bit for it.
I think he's potentially got that as well. Next award to go down to Rookie of the Year. And this is always kind of a hard one to look at when you talk about baseball. But, man, I think one of them, you got to go, the new Pittsburgh shortstop, O'Neal Cruz, is that his name?
O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah. That dude has been just awesome to see. He's been a real light for Pittsburgh as well. I mean, They're still only 39 and 54. But I mean, if Mike was here on the show, that's the guy he's rooting for right now to take home Rookie of the Year right now for Major League Baseball. He's having a great season, and it's hard when you look around the league and go, oh man, who's going to be that guy this year that you don't put O'Neal Cruz's name in that conversation?
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the more popular ones. You also got Julio Rodriguez, who I believe sitting in first place in the American League out of Seattle. He's doing great right now. He's got a batting average of 275, on base of 355, and a slugging of 42. He's got 15 home runs, 43 RBIs, 21 stolen bases, and he leads almost every statistical category in all of the rookie races. He's the leader across rookies in Major League Baseball. He's the leader in runs, hits, doubles, RBIs, home runs, stolen bases, and not to mention he's in the home run derby. This is the guy right now in the American League.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not – I think they've only put one other guy in the contest with him. This was breaking down the betting odds in the Rookie of the Year race put out by MLB.com 10 days ago. Julio Rodriguez was the number one guy by far. In second place was Bobby Witt Jr. And he was way back in the voting. And
I like Jeremy Pena with the Astros too.
Yeah.
So Bobby Witt Jr.
When you look at J-Rod, far and away right now, I think the favorite to take this.
Oh yeah.
Take this award. So. Then man, no one's going to give me an easy list here, is they? In the National League, I think the National League gets a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You got one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, first couple, there's that Mckenzie Gore with the Padres that's doing pretty good. But I've seen some clips. I've seen some games with him. Spencer Strider with the Braves, man. Whoo! The dude at 100 miles an hour, every time he throws. He's in the bullpen. I like the way he's been doing that. He's got a mustache. He's got 11 Ks over 5 2/3 innings of one hit. I mean, that's what this is saying at least. But I like the way he's been doing with the Braves. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on him. I like him so far.
Yeah, Matt, I like that. I think I got to give O'Neal Cruz, though, my vote out of the National League, and J-Rod my vote out of the American League.
That'd be cool. Yep. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if, would they count as Rookie of the Year? Because, he didn't start the whole year. He came up later.
Cruz? Yeah, no, he would be a Rookie of the Year. This is his rookie season.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a full season.
Okay.
But in what we've seen out of him, this guy is a top 10 rookie in the league right now. SportingNews.com has him in third place in the Rookie of the Year odds race at plus 450, which a number I wouldn't be too far off from taking. Spencer Strider's above him at plus 400. Mckenzie Gore currently the odds-on favorite at plus 350. I think you got to give it a look. A strong one there for O'Neal Cruz in Pittsburgh. Nice bright spot. And also, I got to put this out there. Last year, we had an up-and-comer in the pitching side of things, rock with my first name, and Alec Manoa. We got another rookie this year, by the way, who's top 10 in the NL Rookie of the Year odds, Alec Thomas out of the Diamondbacks, also rocking with the ALEK Alec version. I just got to point this out there. I've never seen my name in sports until these past 2 years in baseball.
I've only known Alec Baldwin.
That's with the C. It doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alec Manoa and Alec Thomas, ALEK, and I'm loving it. I just got to throw it out there. The Alex are taking over baseball, just as they should be.
Should be.
Well, next award up here, Matt, Cy Young. It's one of the fun ones to look at, and there's a ton of stats I think you can go to look at this. And my favorite, I think when you talk about pitching and who's the best pitcher, I think at some point when you talk about best pitcher, you have to look at the win totals, because a great pitcher can win despite a bad offensive showing from his offense. And when you look at that this season, no one has been better at winning no matter what than Justin Verlander out of Houston. 12-3 this season, which is 2 more wins than any other pitcher in the American League. He's got an ERA of 1.89, which puts him at second place behind Shane McClanahan in Major League Baseball, or in the American League. Strikeout-wise, Justin Verlander is 7th, and he's also got the number 2 whip in all of baseball as well, or in all of the American League, pardon me. Shane McClanahan's the other guy that, if it wasn't for not getting as much time on the mound, or doesn't have as many wins as Verlander, McClanahan's the favorite to take this award, bar none, because you look at what McClanahan has done. He's 10-3, has a lower ERA than Verlander. He has just 1.1 more innings pitched, so 1 1/3 more innings pitched. He's allowed less hits, less earned runs, only 1 more home run, and he's walked the same amount of guys, struck out 39 more, has a better whip and a better average. Shane McClanahan looks like the favorite guy, but I do want to at least give Verlander that look, because even when his offense has been bad in Houston, which isn't a lot, he still wins. And that's the one difference I'm seeing with McClanahan and Verlander. They're both at the same amount of innings pitched, but McClanahan doesn't have those extra 2 wins. And I know that's very nitpicky when you look at how much better stats are for McClanahan are this season, but I think it's a much tighter race than those stats make it look.
He's sick. I like McClanahan, man. Whew.
And, as I'm breaking down all those other stats, there's a guy that's standing out as number 3. It's the guy I was just talking about, Alec Manoa. He's also been phenomenal. Just 5 less strikeouts than Verlander. He has gone an extra 5 innings in that. And his numbers, while they're not up there with McClanahan and Verlander, he's that guy that's kind of sitting right behind those two, looking like the future of baseball. I mean, when you look at all these guys and ERAs and win totals, there's a couple that are really standing out like, oh, hey, we got some young guys coming up. Alec Manoa is one of them. And another one, for those, Matt, he's a guy that's top 5 in whip this season, and he comes out of Cleveland. The tall man on the mound, Tristan Mckenzie, while he's 7-6 and his ERA is going up, his hits allowed are going up, and his strikeouts aren't quite what you want to see. His whip is just .98. He's one of 5 guys in the major, or one of 5 guys in the American League to have a whip under 1.0. So he's having a phenomenal season out of the pen. And I think that's something you got to watch out for. We got some young guys stepping up, but Matt, my Cy Young out of the American League, I think I do go McClanahan right now, but I think if stats continue to go this way, I think Verlander's going to take it because he's a more effective pitcher. Stats are great, but at the end of the day, wins are what count the most.
He's just an old bull, this pitching. He's got it. Even though I can't stand him, but I mean,
right.
Mostly
the best pitchers are ones you hate.
Yeah, mostly because of his time with Detroit, and all they would do is beat Cleveland. But he's still one heck of a pitcher. Whew. But I like McClanahan too, and that Manoa dude is pretty good too.
Well, Matt, over in the National League, I've got an easy one on this. This isn't even a discussion for me. Huh?
Corbin Burns.
No. There's only one pitcher in baseball undefeated who is an everyday starter, and that's Tony Gonsolin out of Los Angeles. He's 11-0 with an ERA of 2.02. Still hasn't pitched 100 innings, but he has 11 wins. His whip is .84, which I believe leads all of baseball, and at least leads the National League here, and is just second place behind Shane McClanahan, who leads all of baseball in that statistical category. Gonsolin has only 86 strikeouts, but he's not allowing hits. He's only allowed 55 hits on the season, and he's undefeated on the mound. And I know he's on a great team, but when you talk about winning, being effective, and winning no matter what, how can you say anyone's doing anything better than Tony Gonsolin right now?
I don't know. I mean, the guy's pretty good. I mean,
he's 7-4.
Walker Buehler's out. Kershaw in this time. This guy was like a 9th round draft pick. He's 28 years old. He's getting his stage, and he's like, all right,
and he's showing up. He's showing up to the stage. Let's not forget that. He's not just getting put in there with a great team and getting carried. No, he's pitching for the best team or second best team in baseball, and he's doing it perfect. Perfect, by the way. 11-0.
I like Tony Gonsolin. I like Max Fried too.
There's some really good pitchers, and
Yes.
definitely Max Fried is in that
Joe
conversation.
Musgrove.
And so is Tyler Anderson, and so is Kyle Wright. But when you look at just flat out efficiency, you can't do any better right now.
I really like to do with the Marlins. Sandy Alcantara, he's a pretty good pitcher too.
Great ERA going on right now. A great whip, 123 strikeouts. I love him, and I love the numbers put out. But he's also allowed 37 more hits than Tony Gonsolin. I know there's a lot of big difference in innings pitched here. Gonsolin hasn't had that same starts, or hasn't had those same big innings, or a lot of innings, I should say. But his efficiency is what I'm looking at. When I want a pitcher out there, if I'm building a team and I want to find a pitcher, I want the most efficient guy. I want a guy that I don't have to leave in for 7 or 8 innings. I want a guy that can go out, flat out dominate for 5. We can build up a lead offensively, and then I can pull him and be just fine. That's what Gonsolin is right now for this Dodgers teams. He's coming out, allowing next to nothing. His awesome lineup is just rocking the opponent's pitchers, and he gets to take an early night off. He has 17 games started, but he still doesn't have 100 innings pitched. And that's the big thing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at guys who have Corbin Burns, for example, 18 starts. He's got 113.2 innings pitched. Sandy Alcantara, he's got 19 games started, 138.1 innings pitched. A lot of these guys that are in comparable amounts aren't close to the amount of innings pitched he has. He's that low because his efficiency is off the charts. So, out of the Cy Young, we talked manager. Let's go Hank Aaron Award, because this one's a fun one, I think, to look at. American League, I think you got a couple of guys to look at. Obviously, Rafael Devers, Jose Ramirez, Trout, as always. But the top 2 guys, I think, have separated themselves from the pack. Aaron Judge, and then my number 1 guy at the moment, Yordan Alvarez. Leads all of baseball in on-base plus slugging percentage. He's got numbers better than our MVPs last year in Freddie Freeman, who came out with an on-base percentage of 1.044 last season. Yordan Alvarez is a 1.058. That difference, I think, is translating very well to this Houston Astros club. They're just 4.5 games back from the Yankees, who looked like they were going to run away from the entire field for a while here in baseball. And Houston has kept right in there. I think a big part of that is the ability shown right now by Yordan Alvarez to put together an on-base percentage right now of 405, has a batting average over 300 at 306, 26 home runs on the season. He's able to hit singles, doubles, and triples, a lot more singles than triples, but at the same time, he doesn't strike out. He has half as many strikeouts as Aaron Judge this season, which is no surprise to anybody. Judge is a home run or bust type hitter. And then he's also drawn just 1 less walk than Aaron Judge. You look at efficiency again. I like efficiency. And when you're talking about that, I don't think you can say Aaron Judge is more efficient than Alvarez. Alvarez right now is my Hank Aaron Award winner out of the American League this year, because he is just flat out destroying the baseball. Opposing pitchers don't want to go up against him. He's number 1 in slugging as well on the season with a mark of 653 in slugging. He has been awesome. 3rd right now in on-base percentage. And when you look at his batting average, well, it could be better. He's still top 10 in the American League. Yordan Alvarez is the guy this year.
That's who I got, too. That's who I have for that, too.
Well, I don't know how you couldn't. I just threw down every number, and they're all in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I was going anyways. I like the way that this guy's been rolling, and you can even throw Dusty Baker in for like a manager of the year. I mean, I mean, they've been through so much, and they're still a heck of a team. You know, I hate them. I hate them a lot. But look what they
keep getting it done.
What they're doing. They're still performing.
Yeah, for
performing.
Sure. And Matt, over in the National League, it's Paul Goldschmidt again. I mean, I kind of talked about his numbers earlier.
Yeah.
1 of 2 guys with an on-base plus slugging of over 1,000. The other one I just gave the award to in the American League, and Yordan Alvarez. This dude crushing it, 20 home runs. He doesn't have any triples on the season. He is just striking out a little bit more than Yordan Alvarez. The efficiency isn't as great, but we don't see that efficiency as much here in the National League as we do in the American. Pitching's a little bit more intense, I think, over here in the National League, at least a little bit more recently. I feel like the National League has some really great pitchers rolling around through it. I think Paul Goldschmidt, at the moment, kind of my favorite to take this whole thing. Second in RBIs behind Pete Alonso. Alonso's another guy I think you can put into this mix, but his batting average is just down at 265. Goldschmidt leads the National League with 330 and an on-base percentage of 414. He's a guy that gets on base a lot. I mean, you see 112 hits on the season, and most of those are just singles, but those singles have added up in a big way for St. Louis. He could be better, but I think right now, I think you're satisfied with Goldschmidt, and I think you look around the other guys in the National League, and I do think you look at him and you go, that's the standard right now, is Paul Goldschmidt, and no one's matching that standard.
Oh, heck no.
All right, well, Matt, any final thoughts here on Major League Baseball as we hit the halfway point?
No, just hopefully Cleveland can hang on here. I mean, we're about 2 games.
2.5 games back.
2.5 out of first, so, I mean, Minnesota's a very competitive team, so I mean we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Here's the big question I got for you.
The Mets can hang on too.
I think I go yes with what I'm going to ask you. Does Baltimore eventually during the season overtake Boston for the 4th seed in the AL East? I think I say yes. Boston has been in a total collapse the last couple months. Right now, a game and a half separates the two teams.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a little jumping each other.
Back and forth, just a tumble. Okay.
I think Boston will pull strong. I
think I go that same way. I guess second question here, who finishes worse in the AL Central, Detroit or Kansas? Because they're both terrible. I'm going Detroit because they're the worst hitting team in all of baseball, and that's saying something. They cannot get runs. They've been carried by an awful bullpen and somehow getting away with it.
And they've been carried by old man Mookie.
Yeah, they're running into a brick wall. And Kansas City, while their bullpen is worse, they can at least score some runs. And that's the big thing I got with Detroit. They just can't. They can't put runs on the board. That's eventually going to flip around, and Kansas is going to overtake them.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, next question here. We're talking bottom feeders again. Who finishes worse, Chicago Cubs or the Cincinnati Reds? Right now, a game or half a game separates them for 4th place of the NL Central.
Who's the better team here?
Right now, the Cubs have that half game advantage.
Oh, man. Probably the Reds.
I think I go Reds as well, especially Chicago was on a huge losing skid. They're 1-9 in their last 10. Cincinnati is 6-4. Now they've lost 2 in a row, but they're a little better hitting, have a slightly worse bullpen. And I think that's maybe where I say Chicago gets that late bump at the end of the year where they can just kind of stay ahead of Cincinnati and just continue to roll it. I think Cincinnati finishes 5th.
That's fair. Yeah.
All righty. Well, I believe that's going to do it here for the Monday edition of the Casual Sports Podcast. Mike will be back tomorrow, hopefully, if Girard has power. Youngstown, Trumbull County, Mahoning Valley, or Mahoning County area experienced some power outages earlier. Girard still without power. It's been on and off a lot of the day. So Mike hopefully going to be back on the show tomorrow. Hopefully Matt and I are here as well. That's going to do it for the Casual Sports Podcast. I'm Alec Manoa. That's Matt Morrison. We will see you tomorrow.